Oh, hello, and welcome back, or welcome for the first time. My name is Kip, and I play chess. We are back at it again with another epic and educational day of chess. Today, we are facing Igor, 1965 question mark. 4 years ago, 3,000 games, doesn't play bullet, not that great at blitz, pretty good at longer time controls. So let's see what type of game of chess we can just conjure up against this enemy. And so we are going e4, e5 into the bishop's opening. We are immediately hopping into some tactics, okay? So if the bishop comes out, we go for this. If he takes with the pawn, there's a tactic. If he takes with the bishop, we simply jump forward. Potentially what people do is they trap their bishop in and we get it with the pawn, or they bring the knight and we simply get the dark square bishop and lose a pawn for the knight. So we get rid of these two pieces for this piece, which is not actually so great for us. So we're really hoping that he just stop thinking so long, bro. Just take it with the pawn. Stop thinking. Just come on. It's in the opening. He takes with the bishop. That is the correct move, actually. So now the follow-up is to bring the knight. If he traps it in, we kill it. So people, unbelievably large amount of people play this move. I mean, I guess he can play other stuff, but essentially if I can take back with the queen and win a pawn. So bringing the knight is the best computer line. That is what you're supposed to do. I simply grab this, you put your knight in the middle, I kick your knight out, your knight goes back to where it was, and I'm down a pawn, but I got rid of your bishop for my knight. So at the cost of, we'll go into this line, if they take with the pawn, you sacrifice the bishop here. If they step over, you just come back, he can't castle, you got the pawn back, and you're happy, okay? If he takes, you take, he takes with the king, you slide on out here with the queen, attacking the king. He'll push this pawn, and you'll grab this bishop. Okay? Then they normally push here, and you recapture this pawn. You're then attacking this. So sometimes they even bring the queen out, they bring the knight out. Things get complicated, and there's more variations after that. But the simple premise of the idea is take with the pawn, take here, take back, bring the queen. That's a check. He has to block the check with something, and you take the bishop. Okay? So I do win and lose like a lot of games because of all of this, but we're attacking this. And our friend over here really likes to just take his sweet time contemplating positions. So that makes me believe, even being a pawn down, bro, I will absolutely destroy you in this endgame. Absolutely. So let's just see what our opponent's going to do. Don't trap the bishop, please, because it's not incredibly great for me. Like, he does get my pawn for it, and he's already up a pawn. So I'm essentially only up a pawn in material after all of that. So bring the knight. I might even message him and be like, bro, just bring the knight. It's the best move. I mean, what further else is there to analyze about this position? If he neglects to do so, I take the bishop. Okay. So I take the bishop, he takes in, and I take the pawn back. Yes, he hits me with a check. I can threaten checkmate, maybe? Not even going to think about it. We're just going to take the bishop. The whole purpose of everything that he did was to be up a pawn for the bishop and everything. But now, essentially, I got his bishop from a knight. And now we have even material. And actually, I have a lead in development. And I am attacking this immediately. That is something else to note. This pawn is hanging. He needs to do something about it. Bringing the knight is probably the most principled approach. I believe I can just pin it. And so once this pin comes into play, like, he can attack here, but I can attack. If you take my queen, I take your queen. You can't castle anymore. Your pawn structure's kind of weird. I think we just go for activity. Activity overall. My bishops are bishoping. My queen is in the middle of the board. Potentially his knight jumps out and attacks me. I can pin it, and then my bishop's doing things over here. Our opponent has sunk into a 2-minute deficit on time. I cannot believe it. Maybe I should just like mess around on my phone and let the time catch up, because I don't want him to get down to like 1 minute and then just blunder in the end game, because nobody learns anything from that. Okay. Immediately, my queen is being attacked. For one, I can just take. If he takes like this, I mean, I can threaten checkmate. He blocks. I step back, he takes, I take. His knight gets to the middle of the board, defended by 2 pawns. His pawn structure kind of sucks. I kind of like this. Here, take the queen. No. He has this fork. He has a check after he takes my queen. So it would really go This is how you calculate. I would take here, he takes here, I take the queen, then instead of taking back the bishop, he throws in this check. I have to do something about it. He gets my rook. Then I get out with the bishop, but I lost my complete advantage of everything. So what do? Pin this guy. He'll probably defend. Then I take. Wait. Here. No. Same issue. I think I might step back here to maintain this, what's going on in this position. And I just vacate getting attacked. But that kind of stops my knight from being able to develop naturally. I can threaten checkmate, but then he just jumps in. And I just don't think there's really a lot of good coming from that. I would have to step back. He'd attack my queen again. I'd step over. I think we just want to pin. That's sketchy. Stepping back is probably actually the best move. So, what do? Pin here. Then I step back. We're going to do this first. He could just castle and get out of the pin. But then I can take here and it ruins the pawn structure. So I think defending is what he needs to do. And once the bishop is on this square, this knight is free to move because this is no longer a check. So castling, I can just take here. If he takes with the pawn, he's got a ruined pawn structure. If he takes with the queen, I take back, and he's still got a ruined pawn structure. He doesn't have a dark square bishop to give me a check, and this pawn is not advanced anywhere, so this check is not something I need to worry about immensely. Anyway, I could come back and block it a few different ways. And let's just really what I would like. I want to just get better at end games. That is where the games are won and lost. So if there's anything that I need to learn, it's like avoid simple, stupid opening traps is one main thing. Like just finding tactics in the middle game to like get up a piece or whatever. But there's so many tactics and just one move, huge blunders. Okay, so this reattacks my queen. I can just take, then he takes, then I take. If he takes with the queen, I take back, he takes back. I develop my knight. I don't know how I feel about giving up both of my bishops to ruin a pawn structure. Because then we're just in an endgame where I have a knight and you have a light square bishop. What do? I think if we step back here and he jumps in, I take with check, he steps over. I just don't want to get in the way of this square for my knight, is really what's going on here. So we step back, he comes in and attacks the queen. Maintains touching this pawn. This is now undefended. I mean, it was already undefended, but I think he can just maybe castle and he's chilling. So he did make like a minor blunder out of the opening, but now our opponent has been displaying quite good knowledge of chess positions. Just breaking, I think all of his moves were actually very easy. I think you just castle here. I'm no longer really threatening to ruin your pawn structure on that side of the board, so I don't think that's something he needs to be like immensely worried of. I'm still pretty much trying to develop my knight. He could just attack, and then here, and then here, and then here, and just keep chasing me around everywhere. He can also jump forward and allow this trade. That would still exist, where he's putting pressure on this. So, yeah, he could jump in and attack my queen. If I take, this fork is something I need to worry about. So I would need to react to it, because I can't take back immediately. So like boom, boom, boom. My queen is still hanging. I step over here. But then he grabs this pawn. Then I slide all the way in and attack the rook. That doesn't look good for you. He then just simply castles this way. No, he doesn't. My bishop's cutting that off. Our opponent has 4 minutes. I have 7 minutes. Okay. He attacks my queen yet again. trading off all of the pieces doesn't seem like the greatest idea ever. But if he takes with the queen, I think we're just going to do this. It's a check. He can step back, which isn't great for him, that's for sure. He can take with the queen and get out of the pin. Yeah, he takes with the queen. Now we're attacking. Yet again, we are attacking. My gosh darn queen. I can slide over here with tempo on this. That's what I see. But I need to hang on to this pawn because now this knight is free to take. So I think I have to slide over like this. Or step forward. I guess he could attack me again. But I'd still be able to step back. So maybe this makes the most amount of sense. I think this is active. He could advance this pawn and I step back. By golly, if he attacks me again. So I think I might have to go here. Because if I go forward here, step back, he attacks me again, then I have the problem of all of this. So basically, I calculated the first line. Wait a minute, can that still happen if he just does this? What about this? He takes the pawn in the middle of the board. I take here. He's attacking my bishop. All of a sudden, this position looks like it really sucks for me. We step over. He hits us with this. We then step up. Here, we step up, defend this, hang on to the pawn. And now I'm a little bit scared. I need to develop this knight so I can castle this way at will. And if not, then I might just castle this way. And I literally might just get rid of this pawn, because this knight, because it's still attacking this pawn, and my queen is the only defender of this pawn, because I have yet to get to develop my gosh darn knight. And so this knight not being developed is preventing me from castling, and either square that it goes to will be protecting this pawn, even pushing this pawn. And I guess something else that I could showcase is trade everything off and just keep the dark square bishop, which is easier said than done because he's kind of in a vulnerable spot. But we could just like play straight solid chess and getting it to an endgame where it's a knight versus the bishop, and then I'm fairly certain I'd be able to mop that up. Because look at all the pawns that we still have on the board, and when you have pawns on both sides of the board, when you get into an endgame, essentially the bishop is going to be better. Like if some stuff happens, okay, he attacks this right off the gate. This is attacked twice. Jumping forward prevents this, and it takes away this. Also, I can just take here. So my whole talking about everything, I can just get rid of. This is somewhat scary as well. So I think we just take here. He's got too many of these minor pieces doing stuff. These knights are really scary. So I think we might just get rid of this. If he steps over here, yeah, I think we just do this because I'm going to get battered around and I might lose this pawn. So I think we just take here. He gets an open file, but now I can kind of develop my knight. We just have a completely even position. I can develop this knight protecting this pawn. He jumps in and attacks my queen. And this. Would the only move be to step back? I can just slide like this. What if I push? What if I don't care about the pawn in that castle this way? That's never going to work with this open file. Oh boy. What do? We're scared of this. Do we push? No. What do? What do I do? Jump in. He attacks. I mean, I can step forward. He takes here. I take here. This is scary. We step in. He can take here because the knight's in the way, but then I take this. What if you just... Ugh. That's enough time. No more thinking about it. We have exactly the same amount of time on the clock. What did I do with my time advantage? I need to I need to get better at that. And I need to gosh darn castle. I'm ready to castle. But I think he's going to just step forward and cause more problems in the position. And grabbing this pawn, I think, is far less important than that pawn. Okay, so he's going for this. He can also jump in this way. If I push, he jumps in and attacks my queen. We step over. We push this. Now I'm actually losing on time. Oh boy, if you guys are watching this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm terrible at chess. This is kind of a scary idea. This is kind of a scary idea. This is still a scary idea. Jumping in, take. Over here. It looks like we are just going to grind this down into an endgame. Okay, so he does do this. I think I step forward. Or do I step back? Like, do I step all the way back? We step forward. You take. I take. What's the plan then? You slide forward and attack me. I slide back. You slide over. I push forward. I think we're just going for it. With 1 minute on the clock. This is scary. Grabbing this pawn is way better for him than me grabbing this pawn. But it keeps material balance in the position. And I never got to castle. And now it's looking like I'm never going to get to castle. Like, I suppose if he takes, I can just go for activity. And just not even care about this pawn. Like, how important is that pawn, really? If I go there, it kind of just brings his rook to the action. Oh, my goodness. There's this fork, but I can castle. We castle. He steps in. I wanted to castle so bad. That is exactly what I'm doing. This pawn is meagerly defended by my knight. My knight can also jump forward. That check is scary for you. My knight arriving here would be great. He's going to almost not definitely jump forward with check. But all of a sudden, I think that was a little bit... He should have taken this pawn. I think these two pawns were not equal. Me winning this pawn, it's already a doubled pawn. You know, you still got another one. So, like, his structure is already ruined over here. My structure is pristine and gorgeous over here. Like, he can jump on in and apply pressure to this. I guess I could just immediately kick him out. He's got 53 seconds. Completely equal. Completely equal. I would love to figure out... Like, I know there was chances in this game where I could have applied more pressure. And I just didn't. I neglected to do so. I just got to castle. Him castling is actually probably a great idea. I don't know why he wouldn't, actually. You can't really move the knight or I'll take this pawn. So he steps back. What is the idea behind that? I like the idea of just jumping forward with this. Then I win this. So boom. If you jump over here, it defends this. So I can go boom, boom, boom. You step all the way over here. I come in and I'm attacking the knight as well. Pawn advancement, baby. Pawn advancement. My knight is still getting ready to jump here. So what's going to happen is he's going to jump here. There's a fork. But it's covered by the queen. So he jumps here. I kick him out. Only move is to step back. I come here. If he does this, I come in. So I think just pressing here is the winning move. Or maybe not winning, but winning a pawn. Then this is hanging at the end of everything. So boom, boom, boom. You can come in like this, but I hit you with a check. You could block that. I take here. We play this. The fork is defended. Stepping back hangs his pawn. I do have to be a little bit worried about this. Oh my god, I'm giving him 15 seconds. I don't want him to just lose on time. Okay, he steps back. I take here. Yes, but then I give him this check. He comes back and blocks. I win this pawn. He could kind of trap me. Like this is hanging. I don't have such a great way of defending it. I take this pawn. Oh my goodness, I'm so scared. I'm really close to getting trapped. We push here. He can just castle. Oh my god, my queen. I think that I need to... I can push forward. What does that do? Attack the queen. He steps over. We sacrifice a pawn. I need a place to get rid of my queen being attacked. So this is more or less a pawn sacrifice. But my queen is basically getting trapped. We're going to take this. Here. You come here. I hit you again. I think we just grab this. I'm so scared. You can't grab it because the knight. We step back, guard the pawn. Here, I've got 2 passed pawns. This is a way of trading the queens. Right. No, I let him lose on time. God darn it. But in this position, what are his options? Jumping in or just taking and I fix my pawns? That is definitely what I was going to do. So whether that's good or bad, I could take with the rook as well and be applying pressure to this. But I kind of like the idea of taking here, pushing here, and then I have a passed pawn here, and this outside passed pawn is going to be an absolute nuisance. I'm up 2 pawns at this point, and I'm going to push him. And so, man, that was a good game of chess. I shouldn't have let him lose on time. But what am I going to do? You got increment and I give you 15 seconds? Come on, bro. But he just shouldn't just make a move. So either way, I'm not convinced that I played the most accurately that game. I would guess maybe 85% or something. But let's go check out the computer, and I will see you over there. And here we are in the analysis. And oh boy, I actually played a better game of chess than I thought. And so one of my mistakes or inaccuracies was Operation Save the Queen. My queen was chilling on h7 in the enemy's position, and I got scared. And then the other one was kind of like a tactical. I saw it, but I just didn't see how good it was, so I didn't do it. And so if we take a look at this graph, I had things under control. My second move essentially was an inaccuracy, giving me an equal position with white after 2 moves. But there's the opportunity for some attacky stuff, okay? And so I got 1 inaccuracy, 1 mistake, 92% accurate, and our opponent, 86% accurate, 5 inaccuracies, 2 mistakes. Sorry, I was looking at this thing. I was like, am I recording? I better not be just talking to nothing. And so right out of the opening, we get the bishop's opening. We go into this line here for everything that I explained in the video, but we can go through it one more time just to show you. If he goes here, we just bring it back. He can't castle, and we're happy, okay? We're just happy. We got the pawn, so he can't castle. We got the pawn. The bishop's safe. I got an easier game of chess than he does. If he captures, I bring the queen out. You can move back somewhere, but then this one would be with a check. And if he goes back here, I'm still going to do the same thing. So 99% of the time, they play this. It's an attack on my queen. We come over and grab this. Mostly they push this. We take here, and we're just doing quite well. Essentially, we're attacking this. If he brings the knight, we can pin the knight. If he brings the queen, we can simply just trade off. He can't castle, and we're winning this endgame because we're going to develop, castle this way, and this king is naked. So even without the queens attacking, it becomes quite easy. And so that is the line that we did not go into. The other opportunity, he takes with the bishop. We bring the knight. 1 in 10 games, I get this position, and they trap the bishop in, where you simply push the pawn, and he has to sacrifice for it. And so it's not horrendous. What am I talking about? It is horrendous. So the best move is to bring the knight. You bring the knight, I take, you put your knight in the middle, I kick you out, or I develop a piece. I believe that this is best practice going along something like this. And so what happens there is essentially I lost a pawn, but I get the dark square bishop for my knight. So it's not it's let's actually check with the position and what it says. Let's check. Completely equal. Completely equal. This is not the right move. You attack the knight like this. Because if I take, you take back, I get the pawn back. So you have to step back. We got a little lead in development going on, and it's a completely equal position. And so that is why I go for it. Most of the time, you're going to see a mistake come out of this. Normally, they take with the pawn because nobody wants to put a bishop in the middle of the board. So they take with the pawn. You can go into the other line. If they take like this, you still get an equal position. It's definitely worth playing. So we get this in position. So everything that I explained didn't make sense because now we can simply take the dark square bishop and we get the pawn. So it's like we got our cake and we got to eat it too, or however you say that. So we essentially have equal material, but we got rid of his dark square bishop from my knight. So we are just, and lead in development with an attack. Not only that, we are also threatening something immediately. So he brings the knight, I pin the knight. He brings the knight, I pin the knight. We got knights pinned everywhere. If you notice, I'm playing the computer best line so frequently. Then, what did I do here? I step back. I'm supposed to take, but you know what? It's a difference of half a pawn, so whatever. We don't take this. The reason is it allowed him to jump in, and there were a little bit of complications where my queen is kind of in the middle of the board, easily attackable. And so that doesn't happen. We trade off the bishop. We step over here. He still could have been more active and like gone for attacking this pawn and the bishop at the same time. It's whatever, that didn't happen. We take here, still one of the best moves, still in equal position. And then here is kind of, he's supposed to just castle because this pawn being weak, such as this, becomes a problem later. And so if my knight jumps in and gets this pawn with check, it's very bad for our opponent. So I have a +1 advantage, and I have a pretty easy idea of just throwing my knight right in the middle of the board. But he's supposed to just castle. He attacks my pawn, and I'm supposed to completely disregard it because jumping in and allowing this, it wasn't about the pawns ever. It was about you don't get to castle anymore. I jump back out, and your king is stuck in the middle of the board. You go somewhere, and I'm castling. And so it wasn't about keeping equality with the material or anything. It was about hitting this pawn with my knight with the check, okay? So I was supposed to just completely just, when I saw this, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Still one of the best moves is to push the pawn, but this would have been much better. And so even just castling and saying, who cares about this pawn, bro? I'm getting a knight to the middle of the board. This is just going to be an open file later. You still haven't castled, and so I didn't need to be worried about this pawn as much. So this is a mistake, but I'm still winning. He steps back. Correct move here. Now, as I explained before, he has still not castled. His rook and his king are now on this very forkable square. So not only this is a weak pawn, but it's a fork if my knight gets there. So what I thought for my opponent was to take this pawn. And what I was thinking was taking this pawn with my queen. What's better that I did not see, so I'm not sure if I would have played this with 1:47 on the clock. I have no idea. But I jump forward with a discovery on the knight and a threat of this fork. And then I'm just completely winning. So if you do something with the knight, like you save the knight, like if you save the knight, I get the fork. If you save the fork, I get the knight for free. So you're screwed either way. And so I didn't see this. Discovery, fork, tactic. All right, didn't see it at all. And let's make sure we're playing the right moves here. Actually, the computer best line is to defend this weakness or put the knight in the middle of the board. So when he played this, I kind of got a spark of hope because I got to castle. This is no longer a weakness. You still haven't castled. And now my pieces are just on good squares. And I felt like I had an advantage here. Like I felt like even if he took this pawn with his knight and I took this one with my queen, I felt like I was losing. So he couldn't do that because of the tactics that I never saw, but whatever. Now, instantly. So if you notice, where are we at? How many best moves? We don't play it. Best move, best move, best move, best move. Not the best move, but I grabbed a pawn. So that was the whole purpose of my line, is I wanted to grab this pawn. Jumping forward with the knight was more active. And so basically, because we're all pretty forcing, the knight just didn't want to get taken for a pawn. We give this check. He comes back to block. I grab this pawn. And then I became scared. Okay? I was supposed to just be brave and push here. And I did. I actually did play this move. I needed to be more brave and keep forward with the idea. He castled, and then I realized, okay, my queen is on h7. This is an idea. Like like pushing this pawn, sacrifice, so that you get attack on my queen, where everything is defended. I realize I have no squares for my queen. I can't go anywhere. Nowhere. I can't take this, I can't take this, I can't go here, 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 I can't do anything. I can't take my own pawn. So my queen officially has no moves. And whenever you're in this situation, you got to be really careful. And so I did not see a clear path. This is the best move. I did not see a clear path of getting saved. Like, if this happens, I just didn't see a clear path. And me winning this knight is like the last of my concerns. I don't want to lose my queen for a rook or a knight or a pawn or for nothing. And so instead of this and being brave, I play the much more human pawn sacrifice. So if you notice, I lose 2 points of my advantage, but you know what I have? I'm not losing my queen. And so I stand behind it. I would play that move again because this, if you don't see the clear path of getting out of, oh, duh. Well, what if, like, what if this? Then I come here, then I get out on this diagonal. Okay. I never saw it, okay? I got scared. He castled, and I thought, my queen needs to come home. My queen needs to come home. It's been a long vacation. She did her job. She's ready to come home and relax. So we lose this. We trade off a piece. We take in the middle of the board. He couldn't take because of the knight, so he jumps back with the knight. I then just get my queen out. The whole purpose has been served. I know that I have an advantage now, and I've got 2 pawns extra, okay? So I know that I'm completely winning the game. Instead of trying to just immediately push this pawn down the board, I have a smarter plan. We trade the queens. Boom. The queens are on the same diagonal. He can grab the pawn, but then I grab, and then you grab, and then I still have 2 passed pawns versus you're nothing, really. And so, or he'd have a pawn here, but my king can stop that. So this is the position that our opponent flagged, but regardless, I'm just going to trade here. I can just defend. I mean, you grab this. I'm going to bring my knight most likely. Never mind. There's a tactic. So maybe I still would have lost. So don't flag. Don't flag. There was a better way to do it. So either way, that was a good game of chess. I think the pawn sacrifice served its purpose. I saved my queen. But the tactics here in the middle of the board, this tactic here, I missed it. I missed the idea of this. I guess it didn't even happen. So like calculating it wasn't actually all that important for me because he played the best move. I thought he was going to play this, but I spent a while thinking about, I spent like 30 seconds thinking about what to do here and just realizing that I got a lot of problems going on, but I played the best moves regardless. So it didn't matter. So I guess I wasted time calculating something that didn't make any sense, but I still played the best moves anyway because he played the best moves because what I calculated didn't make sense. So he never played it. It makes sense? So I guess my calculations served its purpose, except I wasted some time. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Thank you so much for watching my video. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. That was a good game of chess. Unfortunately, he flagged. Too bad we didn't make it all the way to the end game. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Sorry the review was so long. I love you. Bye.